Hello, guys. I am so excited to see you all. Thank you for joining us for the Legacies After Show. We got it. I am here. My good friend Taylor is here. And let me just say we are back in Mystic Falls. And personally, I am freaking thrilled. We're going to be talking about all of that and more on the first episode of Legacies Season 1, Episode 1, titled This is the Part Where You Run. But please don't run. We'll see you in a second.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Welcome back, friends. I feel like I probably know a lot of you, but you might not know Taylor, who's freaking fabulous, but I just want to say, welcome back. I'm Sam Davidson. We're going to be breaking down everything this episode regarding Hope and Landon. We need to come up with a ship name for them. Alaric, we have a lot of friendly faces we've seen and some really sexy new ones, so thank you for joining us. I have Taylor Gates here next to me.
Hey, what's up? I'm so excited to be here.
She is fresh meat, you guys. Completely fresh meat.
Yes, full disclosure, I have not seen Vampire Diaries, nor have I seen originals, but I saw the promo for this show, and I thought it looked so fun, and I love me some teenage drama and teenage angst, so I'm really excited to be doing this.
Yeah, and I've done a lot of shows with Taylor. You guys probably recognize her from some shows we've done together, and, you know, it's kind of cool to have someone new that doesn't know it and is starting fresh, because I'm interested to see your perspective on all of it. So I want to hear from you first. Overall thoughts on what this new world, what this episode was for you.
I really liked it. Sam helped me out a little bit on some of just the background information, but I didn't feel like the fact that I hadn't seen the other ones was like super inhibiting to me. Like I could fully follow what was happening. I think they did a really good job of sort of introducing this world to new viewers like me who might not have seen the other ones. I'm really liking all of the characters. I think they're very likable. This definitely feels like a very 2018 show. Like they have a lot of like diversity and like sexually fluid characters, which I think is really cool. And I'm excited to keep on watching.
Me too. So you guys know how much I love the Vampire Diaries. Like, I'm not kidding. I have a framed poster in my room still, and it's still framed because it was really expensive, and I knew it was a really rash decision, so I can't take it down. It says Vampire Diaries Paley Fest, like 2013.
Aww.
I mean, I am diehard, so it gave me a lot of Vampire Diaries vibes, which I really loved, and I want to know what you guys think. Of course, I know you will tell us. I see the chat going, you know, tonight I'm just going to do my best and glance at it. We're going to talk about this show and just comment on YouTube because we always love hearing from you. We have two new characters. Well, they're all new to Taylor, but Raphael and Landon. Love this pair. So basically, there's a new werewolf in town. We see the opening scene with Hope and Alaric doing this really cool, just, you know, getting the kids to the school. They see him, they find him, and they take him and his foster brother Landon to the Salvatore boarding school for the gifted, or whatever they're calling it. And so they take him back, and it's this really interesting dynamic because we think Landon is a human and Raphael is a werewolf. What did you think about this werewolf transition? Just someone new coming in here.
I thought that was a very cool way to sort of introduce the show. Like, that's a bold first sort of scene. And I mean, I personally did not see it coming, and I think it was very just jarring and just done really well too. I thought it was really just cool to watch, like, how someone transforms, because I've like seen like the Twilight version of it, which, like, not hating on Twilight, I love me some Twilight, but this just felt very like more edgy and sort of like rooted in the more, they sort of talked about it in the more like traditional folklore sort of sense of like vampires and werewolves and things.
Yeah, absolutely. And I loved it. And I had a question throughout this whole thing, which was, when is this taking place? Because we ended the show, the timelines of the originals and the Vampire Diaries kind of got confusing towards the end because they were skipping years. So I was questioning what year it was, and apparently it's 2028. And the ship name is Lope for Hope and Landon.
Oh, that's cute.
Yes, thank you, Nicholas Kelly. But it's 2028, so this is in the future, about 10 years, and that's kind of good to know. It's not like it's really going to help in this universe because they don't necessarily jump back and forth between time, but it's just like, next thing you know, the next season is 7 years later, and it's like, oh, cool, they look the same because they're vampires. But I'm really loving Landon. I think he is the perfect Elena. Guys, so Elena, as I'm sure most of you know, and I had to explain this to Taylor, because she knows just a bit about the Vampire Diaries. Like,
I do.
She knows Elena was a big deal.
I've been on social media, so I know, like, the ship names and the very basics of it.
Yes. And I still have some questions, like if it's 2028, where the heck is frickin' Elena and Damon and their child or children? I don't know. Let me know, guys. I'm very interested if they're going to cover that. But basically, this is a bit in the future, and Landon is, at first, this kind of human that doesn't know what he's doing, where he is, and he's a new character to me as well. So did you believe that he was compelled when they finally told him to kind of leave and go? Did you think he had any ulterior motives this whole time?
I didn't sense any ulterior motives on him, but I don't think that he's also gonna completely forget what happened. Like, I don't think the magic is working on him either. But I didn't sense that he was, like, malicious in any way. I don't know if you, like, felt that either.
I don't know. I'm not sure, but I think there's a lot of love to happen there, which we will get into. But before we do, I would love to talk about this party that all of the kids have. And we spoke about it. It's heathen time. And Alaric, just admits that all of these kids are going out and having a party. And so Landon and Raphael kind of have their goodbye of sorts. But even before that, though, we did learn that the reason Raphael is there is because he killed his girlfriend.
Yeah.
And that's very sad.
It's very sad. I thought the scene with Elizabeth bumbling her words was, like, pretty funny, though.
I know. It was amazing. And again, this was very much Vampire Diaries vibes for me. I'm going to kidnap Taylor soon. I'm just going to have her over for the whole weekend, and I'm just going to give her a bunch of wine and pizza, and we will sit and watch the Vampire Diaries.
One weekend is all it's going to take?
No, I mean, I'll just do a highlight reel, maybe.
Okay, good deal.
Do it. I mean, it might take a full day, but, she'll come out fresh, new, and ready to go. But it was a lot of fun. I loved that, and I love this Raphael character that he is wounded and terrified. Did you like him as a new time viewer?
I did, and we got, like, a little sort of piece of him, but I feel like we're gonna get more of him, and I hope we get more of him, because I thought he was really interesting, and the fact that he and Landon are both foster children, correct?
Yeah.
I think that's a really interesting choice, too. Like, they're all each other sort of has, and so that's definitely a special bond that I think is gonna have to be explored, too, because there's something really unique about those sort of relationships.
Absolutely. And let's get into a little bit of Hope and Landon. So, like I said, there is some kind of they've met before, obviously, vibe. And if you've watched these shows before, compelling people is just a daily occurrence, which is hypnosis for those newbies out there. And by the way, this is a good show for newbies, because I feel like people can completely get into this world and not necessarily have to know. It's nice to know what's going on before, but I do think it's like a Harry Potter, a new story of that entire, universe.
I agree. They're doing a good job giving us some, like, the background that is necessary without you being like, what?
But it's just so weird watching this next to you, knowing that I know so much more than you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, by the way, they're twins. Oh, their mother died when their parents got married, and then they switched bodies. I'll get into that in my special segment. So I'm just gonna leave that for then. But so they have this thing where they have met before, Landon and Hope, and she's continuously compelled him. And so he's remembering, but he must have vervain on him, which, if you didn't pick that up, Taylor, and all the other watchers out there, vervain is something that you can ingest or have even in a bracelet on your wrist, a necklace, and it wards off vampire, any kind of powers that they can have, like compulsion. It's basically just compulsion. Yeah.
Okay.
So you're not going to be hypnotized by them. And do you think these two have chemistry?
Well, yeah. I mean, of course.
Did you see his lips? I mean, I just loved his lips.
They were very, like, sweet, though, and I appreciated that. It was obviously, there was, like, some sexiness to it, but they felt very, like, pure in a way, and I really appreciate that, because you can tell, even I can tell, that Hope has been through a lot of stuff and she's very damaged. And I think Landon too. And so the fact that they're kind of finding each other and have this really just like sweet, like very teenagery type relationship, I think is good for both of them.
But what's so weird is that in the Vampire Diaries, in the originals, there are people that have these vampires have these relationships, and it's just like, I love you, forget me, and they just wipe their brain. And it's like, how many times has Hope done this? But Nicholas Kelly in the chat says, do you think that maybe Landon could be an untapped witch or supernatural hunter like Rena Cruz or Henrik Michelson, who are, you know, people from the
For
old
sure.
shows?
I don't know who they are, but I agree.
Or it could be something entirely different, like a fae. They have not touched on faes in this universe yet, like fairies.
Oh.
True Blood. I see what you're doing, Nicholas Kelly, and I like it. But, you know, we'll see. He's definitely something, and I think he's going to be a different creature. I love how he called Hope a unicorn.
Yeah, that was sweet.
Because she's always been so embarrassed of who she was, and her father, Klaus, was terrifying and used his powers, not always for good, but was a good person kind of deep down. And he just felt like he was a freak because he was a tribrid too.
Oh.
And so she says she's the first tribrid, but I think Klaus, actually, you know, you guys, I'm sure you guys are going to yell at me and correct me, and that's okay. But she feels very alone, and I love, like, when people call you a unicorn,
That's such a nice spin on it. That's such a nice perspective. Because she probably feels like she's, you know, different and not in a good way, sort of an outcast. But a unicorn, that's like playing up the specialness of it.
who doesn't want to be a unicorn? I want a unicorn cake. I really do. Have you seen those things?
No.
They're fantastic. Well, there's a lot of stuff also, guys. Guys, I would just love to remind you, it's kind of late here in Los Angeles. It's very late for a lot of you.
It's later in like New York if anyone's watching from East Coast.
There's people in like Europe, and poor of them are like waking up in the middle of the night to watch this, so we really appreciate it.
Thank you guys so much.
I know, but we of course have a lot of other things going on at AfterBuzz we would love to remind you about just besides this show, which is going to be awesome, by the way.
Yeah, so our network actually produces after shows for nearly all of your favorite TV shows. From dramas, reality TV, sci-fi, and more, there is no network that works harder to serve television fans. But we need your help. We're asking that you please subscribe to one or more of our YouTube channels. By subscribing to our channel, YouTube will suggest content that is tailor-made for you and will help AfterBuzz continue to grow. And if you're worried about pesky notifications, don't be, because they are completely optional. So hit that subscribe button now for this channel and check out our other AfterBuzz YouTube channels as well. Let us know you did so in the comments, and we will thank you guys on air because we seriously super appreciate all your support. But for now, thank you for being the best fans and for helping us be the ESPN of TV talk.
And you guys are truly the best. There's someone from New York, St. Louis, East Coast, South Carolina, and yes, Klaus is a hybrid. My bad. Thank you guys for correcting me. Of course, you know, he has witch lineage, but, you know, not technically in him. I understand. Speaking of witches, we have Josie and Lizzie. I love them.
I do too. I think that they might be like my two favorites right now.
I'm obsessed with twins. Always have been. And, you know, these girls' stories, in the past shows, we've always known them as kids that are kind of talked about. And now so this show is in 2028 or 2029. And so, you know, they're older and they are witches. Extremely immature, but so human at the same time, which is something, you know, fun to see someone with supernatural powers that at the end of the day is just like a teenage girl.
Yeah, I think that they bring a lot of like youthfulness to the show because, I mean, obviously they're dealing with heavy stuff and obviously the other like kids are still being teenagers too, but I agree with you, like they're the more immature ones and dealing with like some of the more sort of superficial and kind of fun sides of this like high school experience. So I like that tone that they bring.
How much did you love the Quidditch game?
I loved it. I want to know the rules. I don't quite understand it, but
just like fire here, just jump through hoops. I
play.
loved it. And, you know, we already see a love triangle between Raphael and the two sisters. Josie's bisexual. You know, I think also with supernatural characters and just evolved characters, there's not really a super sexual tie to either gender. They're just fluid. And they want to do it whenever with whoever is hot. I mean, honestly, when you're they're kind of animals. So
Yeah.
they just, they appreciate beauty.
It's so cool though. Like I feel like a couple years ago on TV you would never see like a love triangle, like with two girls like waiting to hook up and another guy, like
Well, it's like a square.
It is. It'll probably be an octagon at some point.
Mm-hmm. Actually, shout out to my Shadowhunters after show season when we made a love octagon and had magnets and all these things. We got the actors to sign them. That was pretty cool.
That's actually incredible.
So there is Raphael, Josie, and Lizzie. Lizzie, I loved the scene where she freaked out. That was amazing.
I was like, big mood.
I was like, girl.
In my soul, I get this.
I was like, I only wish I could do that. I completely felt for her. Okay, so sorry, Nicholas Kelly. She's pansexual. Josie's pansexual, not bisexual.
Oh, okay.
Okay, fair enough. Cool. And she has this freak out, and Alaric helps calm her down, which I love. And he has his meditation bowl, and it's just very nice to see Alaric. He's honestly one of my favorite actors. He's been in some of my favorite movies of all time.
Legally Blonde,
Blue Crush, and of course The Vampire Diaries, the originals, now this show. I mean,
I liked his character a lot. Like, I kind of want to watch the other shows just for him because I thought he was a lot of fun.
Yeah, he's amazing. And so he's kind of helping bring this together, and I love his relationship with his girls. And Lizzie is jealous kind of Hope, which completely, I don't know, I think it kind of makes sense.
Oh, I was like, that's completely understandable. He's like doing private fighting lessons with her.
And if you were to understand their past, like you would understand why she needs that. I do, but also, who really wants to be friends with the girl that doesn't want to be friends with anybody?
Yeah, and it's like, when your dad is that like invested in someone who's not you, and you feel like you're taking like a back seat, like that never feels good or fun.
Yeah. No, it doesn't. And so I understand this rivalry that they probably most likely are going to have. And, it's kind of fun.
But maybe they'll be friends at the end of it. You never know.
I mean, I'm sure they will. This is what always happens, is that girls are kind of pinned against each other. And then they come out friends in some way. Because you could tell both sisters have completely good intentions. And they're not bad people.
They're both just really wounded.
Yeah, extremely. And so I love the relationship between the two sisters also. I just want to point that out. I was watching interviews with them today, and they're just so adorable in that they really support each other so much. And I'd love to hear from you guys, since Caroline Forbes, played by formerly known as Candace Akla, now Candace King, she isn't on the show at the moment, but they are her daughters as far as they were in her womb, but they are Joe's daughters as far as like birth. But I do think they remind me of Caroline a little bit, which I'm sure is kind of a nature nurture thing. But I would love to hear what you guys think in the chat, in the comments, and I cannot wait till I kidnap Taylor to make her watch the show.
I was like, yeah, sounds right.
What do you think about MG? Because I love him.
I do too. Poor guy though. He just got caught up in the moment with Penelope, and now he's hated, which like I understand Josie's point of view too, but he's a lot of fun. And he's the guy that tried to erase Landon's mind too, and couldn't. I think he's great. I was watching him and I was so excited because Julie Plec, as you know, created the show. She does all the other shows, and I'm like, this is Julie Plec's little prize. She's just gonna be so obsessed with him. He's such a fun character to use. And really on the Vampire Diaries or the originals, there was no Seth Cohen, and I'm doing an OC reference, but there was really no like clown of the entire thing. Yeah, I was just gonna say he very much feels like the comic relief.
Yes. And it'll be who is he? I think he's probably completely new. I looked him up on IMDb and he didn't even have a picture.
Oh wow.
I know.
He's about to get big, I think.
He really is. And then, of course, I just have to give a shout out that we see Matty Blue Eyes, who is the cop that we see at the end of the show. He was on the other shows. He was on the Vampire Diaries mostly. But him and Jeremy Gilbert are from the Vampire Diaries he's also going to be on the show, and they're going to be a big part of the series. And it was kind of exciting because there's this thing that happens when there's crimes in Mystic Falls. There's the police, and the police are now in cahoots with the supernatural people. Because how can you not be? It's if you know what's going to happen. It's like, well, we can't really do it. We're all going to die if we're all humans. I don't know. I love it. Okay, some people in the chat are saying Lizzie is bipolar. I don't know. Lizzie is so Caroline from season 1, Billie Jean Girl says, which I completely agree. Matt Donovan does not suck Ivan Soto. All right. Anyways. But I love that we kind of got to see an old character before we end the first episode. And then we have, again, this Hope and Landon thing, which we see they have a past. She lets him go. And then he escapes and he takes some knife, which I have no idea what this knife is. I have no prior knowledge of the knife. This is all new to me as well. And he apparently isn't human. Did you think that all along, or do you think that's...
Yeah, I knew that I figured there was something up with him, and, like, since this is a supernatural show, that's automatically kind of what I jumped to, too. I just had a feeling that his memory was not going to be erased. I don't know why. I just was like... There's no way that's going to happen. Like, that would just be way too easy.
He's too beautiful to be signed off the show.
He's too beautiful. Yeah, I'm just like, there's no way. So I'm anxious to see sort of what powers he does have and if he does have all of these, you know, bad intentions. I didn't get that from him.
That's the only thing about the first episode that I'm kind of not really on board with, is that Hope getting this very angry thing against him, but that also makes me feel as though we don't know how long she's known him for.
And I'm wondering at the end, so he took the knife and then the bus exploded and everyone died in the bus, but did he do anything to make the knife do that? Or was it sort of an accident?
I feel like it was an accident. In any way, I think it was Hope's fault and then Josie's fault by association, but Hope didn't seem upset. Like, she seemed angry with him, not, oh my god, I feel so bad, I just turned all of these people into skeletons.
Yeah.
And just fried them. But it seemed as though it was him. But yeah, I don't think he knows.
Maybe Hope thinks that he did it on purpose somehow, but I'm thinking it's an accident.
I think it was an accident because I think that his memory has most likely been swiped so many times that he isn't remembering who he is, or he's suppressed something that he was. I know that you guys are just gonna have an amazing theory and just fry me in this chat, just like the people in the bus. But, you know, someone goes, it was random people traveling on the bus. Yeah, I mean, who the hell were they? Like, why should we care? But we should. They were innocent humans. Or were
Maybe.
they?
Yeah, I'm like, we don't know that yet, do we?
I mean, the thing about this episode is that I really just... Julie Plec was just messing with us in a lot of ways with the flashbacks and also hallucinations. Like, how do you know what's real? How do you know which people are connected? Because in the old shows, you know, we would see people compel others and we would know, like, you are not yourself, because we would see it happen. There's been a lot of stuff that we've missed in the last few years, which it hasn't been in our time. But let's see. Samantha, Hope wanted revenge. It's very Michelson of her, which is true, and I was going to get to that. So Klaus Michelson and even her mother, they're very vengeful people. And I get that. I completely understand. And once you piss them off, there is no stopping them.
Yikes.
Yes. It's pretty scary. And Billie Jean says she wants Landon to be good. She doesn't want Hope to have...
Me too, Billie Jean.
...bad of luck of choosing guys. But I just don't know. But I think that they are going to... It's a love affair. And it's not going to end. This is the season 1 Vampire Diaries, Stefan and Stelena. But I think they're going to try to go a much darker route. But that's fine. I'm completely fine with it.
I'm here for the ride.
I'm very excited for it. Well, that wraps up this first episode. I'm going to watch it probably 3 more times. I'm not even kidding. I'm so excited about it. Let's get into some news and gossip.
AfterBuzz TV News.
So I have some news, which is I work for a different company I just started working for, and I was at a benefit for cancer research, and then Julie Plec and Candace King just walk down the red carpet, and I'm freaking out, and I pull them in, and I ask them all about Legacies. And of course, Julie said that Matt Donovan and Jeremy Gilbert were going to be back, and Candace Akala, or King, I'm sorry, who is the twins' mother on the show, Caroline. She said she's not going to be there this season, but never say never. Ooh. And I am taking that never say never to my grave, Candace King. Seriously, season 2, I think we're going to make it happen. And it's all definitely happening. And then I would also like to get to a special segment where I talk about all the other shows and references we've gotten in this episode.
Educate me, Sam.
Yes, I've been trying to educate you, and I am. It's like a show. Like, you're going to know so much about the past 10 years of my life.
I'm ready.
After just telling you everything. Okay, well, first of all, we have the 2 twins that are from Caroline and Alaric and Joe. 3 people. So if you guys don't know, there was a relationship, which was Alaric and Joe. They had a really lovely thing going on. She was a Gemini witch. So there was twins in every single generation, and one of those twins had to kill each other.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's dark.
Very, very dark. So there was a man named Kai, and he's dead now too. He's stuck in a prison world. I really hope he comes in this series, by the way. But he killed his sister at her own wedding. It was very, very sad, and there was some kind of witch thing that went on where Caroline, who was one of the stars of the Vampire Diaries, took on the twins, and then Joe died, and she raised these kids with Alaric, who was just a good friend at the time, who's always been a good friend, but we don't know where she is, which is interesting because apparently there is going to be an explanation, because she had a love affair also with Klaus, who was Hope's father, who is now dead. So yeah, just some soapy drama behind the scenes. And then of course we have Maddie Blue Eyes, who showed up as the police officer, the very sexy police officer, in one of the final scenes, and he has always been the token human in this entire universe, and it's shocking he's still alive. Like, it's the most absurd thing you've ever heard in your life.
Keep on keeping on, Maddie Blue Eyes.
Yeah, and they talked about a spin-off back in the day, just with him being the cop, the sheriff, and it's like, no, we need a little more.
Maybe like a little web series or something would be fun.
But now we have him, just like, he's just still there. He's like, I've been waiting, I just need another show where I can be the sheriff. So he's there, and it's amazing, and I'm extremely, extremely happy about it. And let's see, I'm hoping, and I've heard we're going to hear some kind of Gilbert talk. We will hear about Elena, and we will see Jeremy in the next 3 episodes. That's what Julie Plec told me when I talked to her on the red carpet, and I almost peed my pants. I'm not even kidding. Mid-interview, I said, I have the chills right now. Yeah. But she loved it, and she touched me. She goes, oh. And I was like, wow, thank you for transferring.
I'm emotional for you, honestly.
I think I went home and I cried. But no one else cared about talking to them. Their loss.
Honestly.
Their loss. Well, if you guys have any more questions for me about the things that have been going on in this universe for, again, the past decade, always tweet at me. Let me know. Let's get into some predictions for next week.
Oh, I thought we were going to have the music. Oh, here we go.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
I gotta start with you. You're new. What do you think's gonna happen?
Well, I think that we're gonna see more of Penelope and Josie and MG. I think that love triangle is definitely gonna come to the forefront and heat up. And then I think that there's gonna be some repercussions for this dark magic, because you can't just do dark magic and not have some fatal consequences.
Well, they did. Look at all those people that fried on that bus.
Yeah, I think that that's gonna be a huge problem, and I just think that there's gonna be so many more love triangles and a lot of more, crazy magic. That's a very broad, prediction, but
who is your favorite character coming out of the first episode?
I like the twins a lot. But I enjoyed Raphael too. Mm-hmm. I'm excited to see more of him.
Me too. Agreed.
What about you?
Just want to give a couple shout outs in the chat for what they have to say for predictions. Wow, interesting, people. All right. I think Nas said that I think Lizzie is going to free Kai, who is their mother's evil twin that's in this prison world, who's very, very bad.
Oh, yeah, because we were talking about how Liz has some darkness in her.
And she's going to free Kai for some reason because they are both bipolar. I'm not diagnosing. It is confirmed in parentheses because apparently that's a thing. She is bipolar. Okay. Lizzie is. And they're both siphoners. And then we also have some people, well, we have some people, of course, talking about, I forgot to mention the Stefan memorial. That was nice. I don't want to admit he's dead, but I'm still dealing with that, you guys. Me personally, I think that I don't want to see Hope turn into Klaus because Klaus was a monster. And I was the only person on the originals. Roxy and Tiana were just always pro Klaus, and I was like, he literally just killed 3 people today. And he's just...
It happened, Sam!
He said something nice. Like, are we just don't know? Okay. I think that she is going to really get in touch with her darker side, and she is going to connect with the twins on a deeper level, because a lot of times when Hope was a baby and we heard about her in the other shows, it was like, well, the twins can help her. They can siphon things. So siphoning essentially means like taking something out of somebody that they don't need or want, like a curse or some kind of feeling. And I think that the 3 of them are going to get really close. And I really want them to, because I don't like that they're not friends.
Yeah.
It very much annoys me.
Give me some girl power.
Yeah, and as far as Landon is concerned, I think he might even be more terrifying than Hope is.
Oh, so you're going the opposite direction of what I think then. Who I think is completely innocent and fine.
Well, I think he is innocent too. Like,
but he has the potential to be like scarier.
He doesn't really know what he really is, because, you know, they're foster children and we have the werewolf over there, Landon. Maybe there's a reason they were both placed in the same house, and Landon probably has a lot of things he doesn't remember. That is a big part of him. So, yeah.
Maybe we'll find out about their parentage too.
Oh,
maybe that'll be one of my predictions.
I cannot wait. Well, wait, Paul directed... Oh, yes, okay. Also, Paul Wesley, who, of course, is Stefan, R.I.P., he is directing an episode this season, which people in the chat are mentioning. Yes.
Oh, that's sweet that they're, you know, he's still in it, even if he's not in it.
Yeah, it's like he is God, you know?
He's playing.
Stefan is just... He might be gone, you guys, but he's actually God. He's just moving all the pieces.
What a plot twist.
Yes, exactly. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I know that it is late for all of us here. We love you so much. I'm so grateful for you, Taylor, for...
Thanks for letting me come talk this. I'm so excited to keep on watching and get some more history every week from you.
It's going to be really fun. I mean, I didn't like read that much growing up, you know, but this, I know everything. I know more than all my history books. Well, again, thank you guys so very much for tuning in to our Legacies after show. Hopefully we're going to get some more people on and people talking about the show. I think once people see the episode, they're really going to like it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, Taylor, where can everyone find you on social media?
Yeah, you guys can find me on Twitter at Elphaba_Ann, on Instagram at Taylor_Gates_. I also host the Good Place After Show every Thursday at 6 and Law & Order SVU every Thursday at 8, so just make it a Taylor Gates binge night.
Yes, honestly, guys, Taylor's the freaking best. I think she was such a good sport for doing this with me today, because I would have been doing it alone. But that's okay. I would have had you guys, and I'm really grateful you guys were all here. You're awesome. You can find me, Sam Davidson, at SamD43, Twitter and Instagram, SamDavidsonEntertainment.com. And I also do the Riverdale After Show at 9 on Wednesdays, and the You After Show, which you guys should catch because you're going to like that. That is on 7 on Mondays. So we'll see you next time. Bye.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.